You know, if you do any kind of shopping and it says 1/3 off, you need to know how to handle that. Or if they give you a percent, again, you need to know how to handle that. So that's the reason for this, although we won't see repeating decimals, I don't think. Well, we might see some in the real world. Mostly it's going to be like 20% or 30%. Who was getting 20% off? Macy's was. Sorry, it's going to be yellow. So we're going to need a number line when we do some of these because we're going to be given some percents, some decimals, and you need to know what place value the numbers are in. So we're going to need this. So here's my decimal point. Then the next place is the ones. I'm going to do the easy stuff first. I always do the easy stuff first. Then the next place is the tens. And next place is hundreds. Not that I'm worried about those because it's the other direction. What's to the right of the ones place besides the decimal? If that's tens, then this is tenths. In other words, it's 1/10. I should write that down. Start class opener. You have a piece of paper, you can write it on there, or you can write it on your iPad. You need this. No, because it's going to be tougher than this. Then what's the next place? Hundredths. And yeah, you may have to go further than that. I did the worksheet, although I didn't quite finish it. That's 1/100. And then this one would be thousandths. So it's 1/1000. Okay, so we're going to need that. That's the reason why I wanted to do it. I'll show you a quick, easy way to do decimals. And the number line helps, but you can do it without it. So write 50% as a fraction and as a decimal. Okay, percents. You can see the 100 there. Now, we could have done per 13ths, per 20ths. We could have done that, but we use the base 10 number system. And 100 is base 10. We're not in 13ths, we're not in 20ths. You could talk about, you could use halves, but it'd be a different base. So I actually see the number 100 right here. Jane, turn around, please. You see 100? There's the 1, and then there's the 2 zeros. So when you see 50%, that means 50/100. And we're going to need calculators. Now, if you have an 84 calculator, you can change all these. I never use the percent key, by the way. I don't even know how to use it. I know what 50% means.
Which one would be 99?
99 what?
Just what we learned a long time ago.
Oh, we're going to learn why that is. You're talking about repeating decimals. Yeah, I didn't like that. Just telling you you do it this way. I know why, but you should know why. Okay, so if I want to write as a fraction, we should reduce this. So I've got zeros going. What's 5/10? It's 5 out of 10 now. What fraction is that? You guys know this. It's half. 50% is half. 50 cents out of $1 is half a dollar. I haven't seen 50-cent pieces in years. We used to have them. I would think they'd become more common, but they're not. I only see quarters. Okay. They're smaller, I think, than the Susan B. Anthony dollar, but they're pretty close. Either the Susan B. Anthony dollars, I think, is close to the 50-cent piece. So you have to be careful that you look and see what you have. Okay, now I have 50 out of 100. I need to write that as a decimal. I'm sure you guys were told you move the decimal so many places, because it's percent, 2 places, but you forget which way. So if I write this guy right here and I put it on my number line, I have 50 out of 100. The 0 is going to go in the hundredths place, and the 5 is going to go there. So it's 0.50, or some of you prefer to write 0.5. Some of us put a 0 in front. In science class, we do that a lot, just to show off the decimal point. You know the decimal point's there to see a 0 in front. Otherwise, you might read it too quickly and not do it right. So those are the things we're going to do. We're going to give you, and I have a chart here. We're going to be giving you different things, and you're going to fill them all in. Okay, write 0.12 as a fraction as a percent. Xavier says he knows how to do this, so let's do this. C, I want 0.12 as a fraction.
I put 12 over 1.
Not 12 over 1. What place is the 12 in? So if I put it up here on my little diagram, 0.12, 2 is in the what place? Hundredths. So that's what goes in the denominator. So the last digit you run into goes in the denominator. So it's 12 over 100. Can we reduce that? Yes, you can. It goes into 12 and 100. No, I don't want a decimal point. I want a fraction. Now think about it. What goes into 12?
4.
2. Bigger is 4. 4 goes into 12. How many times? 3. 4 into 100 is 25. 4 quarters in a dollar. Okay? How do I change a number to a percent? I have a way to do it that works every single time. It never fails you, provided you do what I tell you to do. So I'm going to go back to the decimal because maybe I messed that up. Anyway, decimals are easier to change to percents. To change any number to a percent, we multiply by 100%. What is 100% equal to? Well, let's write it as a fraction. It's 100 over what? It's percent. 100 over 100. If it's a percent, it's always over 100. We could have chosen any other number, but we're base 10, so I don't want to do that. This is 10 to the second. So it's equal to, Messiah, I think you said it. What's it equal to? 1. Am I changing the value of 0.12? No. So what I'm going to do is keep the percent symbol there, because it's still there, it's not going away. But I can do 100 times 0.2. Now you can use a calculator if you'd like, but I know 100 moves the decimal place. How many places? How many zeros? 2, and it's going to go to the right. So this is 12%. If you get 12% off, you need to know what that is as a decimal. That's how you're going to figure out what you're going to say. Okay? I have that on the next page. To change any number to a percent, I don't care what it is, you multiply by 100%. Didn't have a percent, couldn't find the percent thing on my smartboard, so I had to type it out. So, example 1 is 12.3. Let's write it as a percent. So you start with 12.3, and you multiply by what? Xavier, what am I going to multiply by? 100, not 100, because that changes the value. 100%. But what I'm going to do mathematically, or with arithmetic, is I'm going to do that math. 100 is going to make this decimal go 2 places to the right. Or if you need to use a calculator, do it. But it's 1, 2. Okay, 3 is 1 place. What do I have to add to make it go 2 places to the right? What number is really next to that 3? 0. And then, we haven't used this, so it's still there. 1,230%. I wouldn't have guessed that. But this works. I don't care what it is. It works every time. I should have done 1/3. Oh, I do have, never mind. What is 12.3 as a fraction? It's 12.3. Let's leave the whole part alone, because that's too hard to deal with. It's 12 and 3 out of what place is the 3 in? Xavier knows. 10th. Because you said you didn't have to write it down. Oh, you said you knew it. Okay, let's do 0.123. Where's my good colors? 0.123. I like writing numbers as a percent because it's easy. Because all we do is multiply by 100%. And I'm going to do this math. How many places is that decimal going to move? It's always going to move the same number of places. Okay, Dean, how many places? 2. So it's going to come over here. So it's 12.3 percent. And you can check your answers. Besides my answer keys, you can check your answers. Okay, what's 0.123 is a fraction? Okay, here's the easy way to do it. You take 1, 2, 3. You with me? Put the 1 down. How many places are here? 3, so there's 3 zeros. Works every time. So if I go back here, this had 1 place, so there's 1 0. Now, you guys were looking at how do you write a repeating decimal. I think some of you know how to do this. Let's look at why this works. Does anybody know what 0.3 is as a repeating decimal? I just know it. Sorry, this should have had this. What is that as a fraction?
33 over 9.
Yeah, but why? I know, that's the problem. Even and looking at that, I don't know why either, but I do know why. So here, let's do this. I'd like to change it. So let's let n equal 0.3 repeating. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 3, 3, 3. I'm going to write out a bunch of these. That's what 0.3 repeating means. Colin, do you know what it is as a fraction? 0.3 repeating? It's 1/3. Well, why is it 1/3? Okay, this has one number that repeats. So I'm going to take this equation and multiply by 10 on both sides. So I'm going to write up my work over here so I don't get it all messed up. If I multiply this by 10 here and this one by 10, what happens to the decimal? It moves. It goes, how many zeros? 1. So it goes one place. So if I do 10n, I'm going to line this up, equals, that's going to be 3.3333 repeating. And you know what I'm going to do with those equations? I'm going to subtract them. Now, if you want to do it the way you know how to do it, that's fine. I'm going to have a little problem when I get to 2.4 repeating. 0.24 repeating is not a big problem. So I'm going to do this. This is 9n if I subtract. What's going to happen to all of these 3's when I subtract? They're going to go to what? I'm subtracting them. They're going to go to 0. So that equals 3. If I divide by 9, there it is. N equals 1/3. Have you seen that before? You did 100, so you did 33 over 99. We're going to do that. We'll do the next one. Let's get this as a percent first, because this works. Now, do you always want your calculators? Because you may want a calculator for this. You're going to change that to a percent. Xavier, what do I do to change this to a percent? I multiply by what?
100%.
Excellent, 100%. Okay, so I'm only going to do this part. The percent still stays there. What's the 100 going to make the decimal do? Move. How many places always? Guess what? There's 2 zeros. It moves 2 places. Not by chance. So it's 33.3 repeating. But you know what? When I go to the store, it doesn't say 33.3 repeating. I've never seen that. But I have seen, what's 0.3 repeating? We just did it. What's 0.3 repeating? 1/3. You could have taken the 1/3 and changed that to a percent by multiplying by 100%. Whoops. So we're going to have to do that. So I'm going to get my calculator out. Maybe. And this is 100 over 1. Well, let's just do it as 1. Well, yeah, these little calculators will do that, I think. You'll need parentheses if you don't want to change. Think about this as multiplying. Well, there are fraction buttons on here. Use the little blue thing. That's interesting. Okay. So we're going to do 1/3. So I'm going to do parentheses 1 divided by 3. And I'm going to multiply it by 100. I want just the 100. The percent I'll actually write down. Oops, 100 thirds. I should get 33.3 repeating, but I'm in fraction mode. If I want to change that, there is a key on there. On this, I'm going to go alpha y equals, and I want to change it to a mixed number. So 33 and a third. I'm going to actually take this picture and put it here. Whoa! Let's move that baby down. Okay. Now, I think these little calculators will do the same thing. It's 100 divided by 3. Let's see. If you do the little blue key, FD, it's above PRB. That is the fraction to decimal. So type in just 0.3, press that key, and it gives you the decimal. Now, these calculators are probably like 15 bucks. So these are cheap. They're really nice, actually. And then, let's try 100 thirds. I'm just going to put 100 thirds in and press that ABC button and see if that does it. Oops. No, that didn't do it. I get 33.3 repeating. And let's see if that will do it. Oh, it does. It does change to 33 and a third on here. I pressed, first I did 100 thirds, and then I just went right up to the FD button, which is right above PRB, below the DRG. I did second, hit that button, and I'm sorry I don't have a calculator for my overhead here. And it came out with 33 and a third. Came out with a fraction. You might want to try that. Indeed, your calculator's not going to do the trick here. Okay, so we can play with the calculators during class and figure out how to use them. Let's do this one. I want to write that as a fraction first. Some of you know it's going to be 24 over 99. That is correct. Why? Let's let n equal, now 0.24 repeating means 24, 24, 24, 24, etc. Now I want to be able to subtract. I have to give myself a little space. I want to be able to subtract these and get the repeating part to go away. How many places repeat? Jack, how many places repeat? 2. So instead of multiplying by 10, we're going to multiply by 100. So 100n is going to move this decimal 2 places over. So it's going to be 24.2424. I don't have any space. So I'm going to put it here. Why is it 99? Equals 24.24, 24. If I do 10, guess what? It's not going to line up. It's got to line up. Remember, decimals have to line. And that's why it's 99. And when I subtract these, I'm going to get 24. And so n equals 24 over 99. There's my fraction. I want to make it, I want to reduce it because something goes into 24.99. Colin, do you know what divides into both those? Three. Well, 90. First off, these denominators are going to be 9s. So you always try 3s and 9s. 24 goes divided by 3 is 8. 99 divided by 3 is 33. And that's 3 times 11. And that's it. So now how do I change that to a percent? I'm going to go with the fraction form. So 8 times 33 times 100%. Now, even with those little calculators, you're going to have to do parentheses. 8, divided, because order of operations. I have to do the division and then multiply by 100. Whoops. Or you could do a little of the fraction work and say that's 800 divided by 33. It's the same thing. Okay, so you have buttons on your calculator similar to this one. So I'm going to do 8 thirds. So I'm just going to type that in. 8 divided by 3. And I want to divide by, oh, sorry, it should be 33. My mistake. And I want to multiply by 100. And I'm going to get an improper fraction. And then on yours, you have to find the button. It's in this location. You do the blue key, but I'm going to do the alpha key because mine's a little different. Go up here, and you're going to see something that looks like this. It's this button right here. You don't have to rekey it. Just type in that, whatever it is, and that will give me my fixed number. So I can come around and help you with that individually. Yes.
I don't know how to get that.
You can't do it on your calculator. Now, should we try 24 and 8/33? You do have this ability on an 83. So I'm going to take that answer. You could write 24 plus 8 divided by 33 because you're not in fraction mode. Mine's still going to come out like that. And then there's a button in the math menu. This is true for anybody with an 83. Math, and we want to change it to a decimal. So let's try 2. Now things don't always work, and there it is as a decimal. Now, if I take this number and I want to change it to a fraction, I can go to the math menu. We can try it, but it doesn't do a very good job with repeating decimals. Maybe if I have enough digits there, it will do it. Well, maybe because I'm in fraction mode. Let me change my mode because I don't think it does. But I'm going off my memory. So we're going to go back to auto. Then it's going to look more like yours. And actually, I can change this to classic. So now it's going to actually look like an 83. Okay, so I have 24 plus 8 over 33 equals, there's the decimal. Now I'm going to go to math, and this will change my answer to fraction number 1. Didn't do that. But I'm going to have to do the work to make it a mixed number. And so what I could do is take 800 divided by 33, which I already knew was 24. So 800 divided by 33 is 24. And if I want to do the remainder, I multiply these together. I got a calculator. 24 times 33. So I'm saying you want to calculate. Whoops. 24 times 33. Sometimes I press the buttons too fast. It's 792. And then I subtract. Remainder 8. 8 over 33. That's how you do it if you don't have a fraction calculator. But the little ones have that ability. Sorry, the 83s don't. Okay. There's a little thing, a little warm-up for you to do. And I'm not sure how many days we're going to spend on this, but I think it's going to take you time. It took me time to do the worksheet. So do this first. And it's just kind of nice to be going back and forth here. So fraction 3/20ths, I want to change it to hundredths. Okay, what would you do? You're going to use a calculator, right? Oh, I've got it right there. But if I don't have it there and I want to change it, I would just take 3. I'm going to clear that out. 3 divided by 20. Now, I don't do it that way, but that's okay. So it's 0.15. What is that as a fraction? Oh, no, wait. Let me use my calculator, because I can change that easily to a fraction by using math. Fraction. 3/20. Oh, it didn't give it to me as hundredths. That's a little problem. It's 15. What place is the 5 in? Well, how many places are here? 2. So it's 1 over 2 zeros. There were 3 places. It's over 3 zeros. What is that as a percent? Well, we multiply this by 100%. Multiplying these together, what happens to the decimal? 2 places to the right. So it's 15%. So I'm going to let you try these, work on these, and I'll come around and help you with the calculators. You still may have some questions on proportions. So I'm going to pause this for now and let you try that.